Good morning, Pastor Dave here, coming to you from Linwood, Minnesota. Beautiful spring day today. We're filming this on May 6th. Heading to Chicago today to get my oldest daughter from college. She'll be a college graduate on Saturday. So springtime in Chicago is always a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing family. My brother and my sister-in-law are in Chicago, so should be a good weekend. But before we head out, we're going to look at the book of Mark, First Word, where we study God's Word together. So today we're in Mark chapter 15, verses 1 to 25. So what we like to do is just to read those verses and then spend a few minutes discussing them. So here we go. Jesus is under trial. He just got convicted by the Sanhedrin of blasphemy. He said he was the Messiah. So now he's brought to the Romans. Very early in the morning, the chief priests and the elders, the teachers of the law, and the whole Sanhedrin made their plans. So they bound Jesus, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate. "Are you the king of the Jews?" asked Pilate. "You have said so," Jesus replied. The chief priests accused him of many things. So again Pilate asked him, "Aren't you going to answer? See how many things they are accusing you of?" But Jesus still made no reply, and Pilate was amazed. Now it was the custom at the festival to release a prisoner whom the people requested. A man called Barabbas was in prison with the insurrectionists who had committed murder in the uprising. The crowd came up and asked Pilate to do for them what he usually did. "Do you want me to release to you the king of the Jews?" asked Pilate. Knowing it was out of self-interest that the chief priests had handed Jesus over to him, but the chief priests stirred up the crowd to have Pilate release Barabbas instead. "What shall I do then with the one you call the king of the Jews?" Pilate asked them. "Crucify him," they shouted. "Why? What crime has he committed?" asked Pilate. But they shouted all the louder, "Crucify him." Wanting to satisfy the crowd, Pilate released Barabbas to them. He had Jesus flogged and handed him over to be crucified. I believe we're going to stop there. Yes, that is the word of the Lord for today. So we have Jesus in front of the Sanhedrin, but they do not have the power to execute Jesus because at this time Israel was controlled by the Romans. So Pontius Pilate, he was a governor over Judea, so just the southern part of Israel. And he was the one, he was there from 26 AD to 36 AD. And so they had to convince him that they should execute this man. So they had to find a charge. For the Jewish people, it was enough for Jesus to say, "I am the Messiah, the Son of God." But the Romans wouldn't have cared about that. What the Romans cared about was peace, and that there was not going to be any insurrection or uprising like you saw in the scriptures. Barabbas was part of an insurrection, and so this was what they were concerned about. No, the history books would say that Pilate didn't like Passover. All the Jewish people came to Jerusalem. There was always a lot of national passion. There was a lot of times to say that as a Jewish nation, let's get rid of the Romans. And so Pilate would have been overseeing things and wanting to keep peace. And so they gave Jesus this title. You see it starting right away in verse 2 today, King of the Jews. And this is a very nationalistic title, right? Like there's a new king that wants to be king, doesn't want to be under the Roman leaders. And so King of the Jews becomes the title. It's what's put on the sign above Jesus when he's crucified. And it's ironic that all of these things they are accusing Jesus of is really true, that not only is he king of the Jews, he's king of the world. And so in the middle of Passover, the Jewish leaders stir up the crowd because Pilate here says, like, why this guy is innocent. Jesus was really silent in front of Pilate, and Pilate knows that this is all just a vindictive vendetta against Jesus. And so he softly pushes back. But they stir up the crowd so much that they actually want a murderer released instead of the person who's brought health and healing to so many people, who's brought hope and good news. And the crowd gets stirred up so much that this murderer is set free while Jesus goes to the cross. Kind of interesting, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's why Jesus went to the cross. to set people free. Even in Luke chapter 4, he says, I've come to set the prisoners free and those that are oppressed. I always wonder what happened to Barabbas, that he was freed by an innocent man's death. It's kind of a picture of salvation. Like, that's what it is. Like Jesus going to the cross and the sin being put on him allows me to be forgiven, and the sin is taken from me, as Paul says, and Jesus takes it on willingly for us. And so there's really, in this story, there's this picture of salvation, and you wonder what Barabbas did with it. What did he do with it? And I guess the question that comes back to you and I, what do we do with it? This question that Mark keeps pressing on. Friends, as I get ready to hit the road, may the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Thanks for joining us today. Have a good weekend. Artwork today is by Emily Lemon. Sound production by Chris Stoltzman. And original music is by Lonnie Leo. Have a great day, friends. We'll see you soon.